Got it.
Hello, I'm Amy Lauren, A&R at High Definition Tracks, and Grenno is with me today, who joined the HD family in October when his banger Rock the House dropped on the Awesome Sampler. First of all, hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. I'm a little bit tired. But,
why are you tired?
Because I'm always tired. I remember saying to James the other day I wanted it to be Tuesday because I'm always working, and then I didn't want to look rough. But I've got this massive sty on my eye now as well, so it looked just as bad anyway.
Don't worry, I've got a couple of spots going on, but I covered them with a bit of makeup. So.
Oh well, my webcam was made in like 1995, so you can't see anything apart from like my eyes.
What's your other job?
I do lights. So it actually came about from DJing. So when I was DJing in clubs, I was like, I want these lights to look better. And then I realized that not many people actually do like lighting stuff. So I just get bounced around doing like lights for clubs all the time. So I do that during the day.
That's dope.
I know, it comes in handy as well when I'm DJing.
Yeah, 100.
It's pretty much like, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, apart from obviously you're light jock as well.
Okay, yeah. My name's James. I'm from Liverpool. I am a light jock. That is pretty much my life, to be honest. I mean, there's not much else to say. Produce. I don't know. Suppose you'll find more about me today. Yeah,
100. Like, what are your hobbies? Like when you're not doing music stuff?
Pretty much lighting stuff. What else do I do? To be fair, I quite like going to the gym. I mean, I don't usually mention it because people tend to kind of associate going to the gym with being like kind of a gym rat. But like if I'm not doing music and I'm not playing with lights and I'm not getting drunk, I'm probably in the gym usually.
That's a nice balance of everything.
Oh yeah, well sometimes, yeah. Not over Halloween weekend, I was dead. Just 3 days straight. No gym for me.
Dressed up?
Sorry?
Did you dress up for Halloween?
I had to dress up. I was devastated.
As what?
I don't know. I got dressed up as a zombie, like because they had this like night I do in it's called Medication, and the guy who runs it is like he just loves Halloween, so he's like, you have to get dressed up. And I was like, mate, I can't get dressed up. I'm shit. I'm so bad at getting dressed up. And then he was like, I'll do it for you. And then he got this girl in to do me, and it was like she just zombified me, and it was pretty good, to be fair.
Oh, that's dope. I love Halloween. It's actually one of my favourite times of the year because I kind of like, I like horror films and all that gory stuff. So it's a bit weird, like, that we celebrate, like, looking dead, like, bit random.
It's gone from, like, it used to be a little bit kind of like getting dressed up as bin bags and putting green witches hats on to, like, going out, cutting your arms off. And, like, it's gone really, like, 15, 18 level the past couple of years, hasn't it? Like, did you see the video of that fella who, like, had, like, dead bodies across his garden? And people were like, this is too far, this.
And you had the other end of the spectrum, and then people like wear nothing and look really sexy. So it's like dead, sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had a mini skirt on as well. Like,
I love it. Need to see photos.
I've got one here, actually. Can I share my screen? Can I do that? Oh no, you disabled screen sharing. Boo.
Oh, I haven't. It's just I don't know how to use Zoom properly.
Oh, never mind. You got photos as well.
What was it like growing up in Liverpool? You've been there all your life, obviously. Do you know what's funny? Don't know why. I thought you were Irish for some reason until
my family's Irish. In fact, that's something interesting about myself. I'm applying for Irish citizenship because me mum's nan's dog's Irish or something, so I can get like 2 passports.
I've got Irish heritage, and me and James are saying the same thing. Like, you should try and get Irish passport because obviously, like, so we can actually travel and stuff. So
they're not stupid though. They're not stupid. The price has quadrupled over the past couple of years. It's like €300 or something to get it done, but it's probably worth it. Like, but it's good growing up in Liverpool. Like, I mean, the 80s were like, as much as there's like kind of and what's the word, a trope about Liverpool being rough in the 80s, it probably was pretty rough in the 80s, but like as I grew up, it's a lot better now, and like not as many of my trainers get stolen every year when so it's not too bad, and I do have a job, so it's not
I love it. Yeah. What's the music scene like for you growing up, like especially around where you live? Are you like city central kind of, or I don't really know Liverpool very well?
Yeah, I mean, I bounced around. I moved house loads of times, to be honest. I lived in Italy for a couple of years when I was a
Really?
kid. Yeah. Can't speak a word of Italian. I can barely speak English. But yeah, so wait, my brother, because I kind of looked up to my brother. My brother wore, my brother loved like punk rock and like kind of metal. So I grew up listening to that, and I used to be a drummer for his band. And it was only when I got to like my teens I started to really like dance music, and in Liverpool, like right now anyway, like it was good as a kid, but right now the music scene in Liverpool, the dance scene is insane. Like it's just crazy. Like Camelot played the other week, and it's just the entire waterfront was just full of Scousers. Like it was just so yeah, I think like I'm lucky to be where I am now because I think Liverpool, the nightlife, the music scene is really good. But as a kid, I don't know. I don't think the nightlife was as good. I mean, I don't know whether maybe it was like that everywhere, but it was just there was a kind of like a bad vibe about nightlife back then. Like it was just rough and kind of. So I don't know. Maybe to answer your question, it was shit then, but it's good now.
It's good now. Loads of new up and coming talent, and times have changed a little bit. I mean, I wish I'd got to go out in the 80s and 90s and actually rave properly, because I feel like such a massive part of our culture is from, well, for me anyway, like a lot of the stuff I like kind of comes from like an era that I never actually really got to experience. Like obviously kind of coming into music, like had started to like different sounds and things, and then doing the research and realizing where everything kind of comes from, it was quite like, oh wow, but equally like, oh, gutted I missed it, I was too young.
Yeah, I think that'll happen all the time though. I think you'll tell your grandkids that when you grew up there was because in the 90s like you had the big massive clubs and they were amazing because they were huge and just people going nuts and there were no phones. I mean, God, it'd be great going out and not having footage from 7 different angles of you being a mess. But now, like, you get things like in Liverpool, there's Family Moore Dock, which is gone, or Blackstone Street Warehouse, and you've got the drum sheds down in London. Things like that, they're almost like raves, like, but they're not, unregulated, illegal raves. They're like, relatively safe spaces. And like, I think we'll look back on those kind of the drum sheds, Printworks, and be like, they were really good then. And like, we're hearing it now, but I think in like 10, 20 years, you'll look back and go, what a time to be alive, 2020.
We're fully going to be that generation, aren't we? Like,
yeah, you don't know you're born.
I hear you. What was it like for you in the pandemic? Because obviously with your work and with the music stuff as well, like how did you keep sane? What was you doing?
Exercise. Honestly, God, it was genuinely like being in prison. I don't mean like I couldn't leave. I mean like I got up, I did like 100 press-ups, went to the shop, make me hourly exercise, came back, and then had a little cry, watched some Pirates of the Caribbean. No, it was just boring. It was just like the same thing every day. But the advantage was, imagine if you a year ago or 2 years ago, someone said, right, you're off for a year, you've got no choice. You can just sit there and work on music for a year. Like you did a bit of the handoff really, because like you constantly work, and that's what I did. I spent a year trying to improve my workflow and trying to get better producing. And I made Rock the House and got it signed, so mission accomplished.
No, grateful, absolutely love it, bangs. But yeah, no, it was hard. Like it was definitely difficult, and it's nice that you managed to keep yourself positive and like creative. For me as well, like like you said, having the time to kind of do that, whereas like no one would, if anyone offered you a weekend off, like because our job's so weird, like don't we get holiday pay? Like I'll go. It's
fear of missing out. It's FOMO, isn't it? Like there was something about being off, but no one else was working. So like when you have a week off, even if you're away, you're checking your phone to see what it's like, and like, but there was no one working, so it was great. But again, there was some comfort in it, the fact that you were going through a bad time, everyone was going through a bad time. So like when you felt down, everyone felt that. Like it wasn't you. I was talking to my best mates, and they were in the same boat, and it was kind of like we were literally all were in the same boat. It wasn't like you were alone. So like, even though it was depressing and sad, it was like literally everyone in the world was like feeling sad. So it was kind of like, we got this. It'll be fine.
No, that's a good way of looking at it, because like it could be quite lonely sometimes. But I think
Yeah.
Yeah, like bringing us all together in that weird way of like the uncertainty, but like you said, we're all in the same boat with it. Like, yeah, it's kind of nice to know everyone go through the same thing, but it was fucking shit.
It was horrible. Yeah, God, that winter last year was I don't think I could do that again. Honestly,
I feel like it was a part of my life, and I obviously know it happened because I lived it, but it feels like such a long time ago.
Blocked it out.
Yeah,
blocked it out. Yeah, it's
happening?
like a traumatic experience as a child that you're just like, did that actually happen? And you're like, did this pandemic actually happen? The year I was in my room, just like, and you're just like, it doesn't matter anymore now because everything's back open.
No, 100%. Anyway, coming out of lockdown, what would you say your like proudest like achievements been? And it doesn't have to be music related, and we could be talking about before lockdown, or it could be after.
Proudest achievement. Okay, right. Okay, I've got one here. So, I said before that I was like kind of go to the gym often. It's because I used to be fat, like so fat. I'll try and find a photo dead quick, right? So, like obviously you have to. Yeah, oh my God, wait, hang on. Okay, we see. I'll see.
I'm not laughing at you, by the way. It's just.
Oh no, you laugh away at this. It's like Where am I? You've gone missing. I've gone missing.
I'm here.
Oh no, it's gone. Oh, you're up in the corner. Am I cool? Can you see that?
I can.
Yeah. I was like.
Oh my God. I look well old, by the way. James in the background trying to have a little peek.
Oh, very good. See you again, look. Me as a kid.
What were the books? What's with the books? Is that just the
that's how school photos used to get taken in the 1800s.
Love it. No, yeah. But fair play.
No, well, that's not actually the. Hang on, there you go. Yeah, that's not actually the greatest achievement. So obviously, when you're trying to like lose weight, you have to do certain things. You have to change your lifestyle, blah blah blah. And obviously, one of the last things I had to do was, do you know when you go on a night out and you get drunk and you're like, right, and then you stroll up to the McDonald's and you have something to eat, and the next day you're like, why did I get that Mackey's? Yeah. The greatest achievement is that when I go on a night out now, I just look at the McDonald's and go, not today.
Really?
I don't have takeaway after a night out anymore. I look back and like, that is the greatest achievement in human history, to turn down a takeaway at the end of the night. So yeah, that's my.
That is as a massive achievement, and well done for losing the weight as well, because it's difficult. Like I ate a lot of food in lockdown, and just trying to motivate yourself to just go and change is really difficult, and like break up the pattern. So that is a sick achievement.
It's awesome. I mean, it's great.
Everybody loves the takeaway, mate. Not just when I'm over.
I know.
That's decent. Okay, moving into your music, I wanted to ask you, how would you describe like your sound, your style, like what makes Grenno Grenno?
Techno Skrillex, baby.
Woo! Love it.
That's what you said now. I don't know. It's weird because I tell everyone has kind of a process, don't they, when they make tunes. So you listen to a John Summer tune, the arrangement's the same. We're going to like kind of production at the moment. The arrangement's the same, the way you set the bass line's the same. And you can tell, like, you know, producers can break it down, but people would listen to a John Summer tune, be like, that's a John Summer tune. Mm-hmm. And my mate Josh, he always says, like, you can tell it's a Grenno tune. And I'm like, why? How? Because, like, that's my biggest problem. I don't have an arrangement and a workflow. My projects are a mess. Like, so to me, they sound all that different. But I think it's probably like build up, aggressive vocal on the drop, bass line, and then drop into an interlude. And usually the interlude's a little bit like emotional. I love emotional interludes because I like emotional music. I listen to it all the time, but like I like playing tech house as a DJ. So like emotional stuff and tech house don't really work well together. So you can't get like kind of banging tunes with emotional stuff. So what I usually do is I try and make a banging tune, and then in the interlude make it a little bit emotional. So like it keeps my musical side happy. So maybe that's it. Yeah. Oh, no, banging tech tunes with emotional interlude. You can hear it in like all my bootlegs. Like they always break down into like kind of an emotional kind of interlude where people just get the phones out and start texting.
no, phone out because they're waiting for that drop for the energy. Yeah. Oh no, I love that. So would you say like obviously you said your brother inspired you with rock and stuff. Was you a fan of dubstep as well?
No, like, do you know what? I admire Skrillex because he's a genius. You just like you someone gives someone Ableton And he makes that album. Just like, how did he come up with that album with the tools he had? It's just insane. It's just insane. It's it's absolutely. Someone gives him a screwdriver and he ends up building the ISS. He's just like,
no, he is mental genius. But love it.
So some of Skrillex's stuff is really good, but dubstep. I think what happened is people listen to Skrillex and like what he made. He didn't obviously make dubstep, but he kind of brought it into the front light, and people kind of like wanted to make their own way, but they're not Skrillex. So a lot of shit was made, in my opinion. A lot of bad stuff was made. And because of that,
but you're right, there was some bad stuff. But I only asked about dubstep because like a lot of house producers and DJs started off obviously loving garage, dubstep, and drum and bass. So I wondered if you tick that box as well.
Oh no, you see, that's like garage and dubstep is like, it's much more down south. Like you don't get many people liking garage up here or dubstep. We listen to like kind of trance, I suppose, and like kind of
like happy hardcore kind of stuff as well.
That kind of stuff, yeah. That's what people like. So Camel. I mean, I don't know if you know Ultra Beat, Pretty Green Eyes. Did you know that's Mike from Camel Fat?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so
I found out more recently, and I was like, what?
Yeah, he sings it. It's fucking mad. Anyway, so he, that's where he came from. That kind of music, and that's pretty much where all Scousers came from. Like all that kind of like 140 heavy tunes. But I did not listen to that. Like that's not my influence. My influence is, I don't know. Like I think the very first house tune that I really, really loved is "Call on Me" by Electrids.
Oh, tune that comes out and again in when I've had a bit more commercial sets. Like
it's great. And he hates it, doesn't he? He hates it. He refuses to play it. But every time I see him live, I'm like, do you know what? If he played it now, it would take the roof off. Just play the tune. Stop being so sinister.
That's what I love about the classic stuff. Like, and it makes you wonder. Like now, like you were saying about like John Summit and other people as well. Like big tunes at the moment, and it's really interesting to see in 10 years' time
which ones will be timeless.
Yeah, which ones? Yeah. You think like, oh, this, and this, but you actually don't know. Like, you really don't know. Like what we're gonna have like this whole like library and record box full of potential good stuff and shit.
Mr. Brightside. When Mr. Brightside came out, there was like 10 songs that were like 10 songs like Mr. Brightside, but that is the one that came out. Or Flow Rider Low. That is a rammer. It goes off no matter what. But like when Low came out, how many other songs were like 128 R&B fused tunes? 100. But that's the one that took, like, that's the one that's timeless. And like you don't know which ones are going to be timeless. Like, to be fair, what is it? Patrick Topping, what's his one that I can't stand, but it's huge now?
Forget?
No, it's the one after the Be Sharp Saying Out. Like when that came out, it didn't really do that. Like it was all right, everyone kind of enjoyed it, but now I'm playing it again and it's going off. I'm like, I mean, it's like a couple of years old now. I'm like, why is that one of all the tunes that came out at that time, like the one that everyone remembers that like goes mad? Like it's bigger reaction now than it was like a couple of years ago. And it's mad. And I reckon that one's like on its way to being timeless, which is bizarre because it's, well, I'm not a fan. I'm not a person.
Don't have to be a bad, but that's really interesting. Like actually, a bit of inspiration. Maybe next time I play out, just try some old stuff and see what takes flight.
Oh yeah, I love it, me. I always pick out like random tunes and just
surprise the crowd.
Yeah, either that or I just haven't stopped playing it since it was out because I just haven't changed my playlist in like 5 years.
Love it. We all have our favourites. Right, tell us a little bit about Rock the House. So you said that it all come to you in lockdown, or was it before, bits of it before, or tell us about it? No,
it was in lockdown. So when I started lockdown, like, my sentence, I was like, right, I'm just gonna spend 5 days a week just working on music, and I did, and I think it's improved a lot. But there were 2 tunes that I made pretty much back to back. It was Rock the House and Bone Sharing, and if you listen to them, you'll be like, yeah, they do sound quite similar. It's because of basically the vocals are from the same pack. I started making the song, and then I found this Rock the House vocal, and I was like, nah, I'm not a fan of that. And I just went through the rest of them, and then I carried on with the loop of the bass line, just looped it, and I was like, after a while, I was like, actually, no, that's all right, isn't it? That's all right.
Started to grow on you a little bit.
Yeah, I threw it in. I think I didn't like it because I thought I'd have to call the song Rock the House, and I don't think it's a very good name for the song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, Rock the House, because it's not like, because Rock the House sounds like there's loads of lyrics and there's like a story behind it, like, you know. But then after a while, I was like, nah, it's all right, it's good. And then what I really liked was cutting it up. And when I cut it up over the vocal, the drop, I was like, yeah, we got this. Like, that sounds pretty cool.
Nice, dope. And I love Bone Siren, massive fan of Bone Siren, obviously.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good enough. But yeah, I suppose that's the Grenno thing, isn't it? Like, build up, vocal, cut up vocal, breakdown. Giving away my trade secrets here.
Cut. So it's nice. It's nice for anybody listening. Have you got any advice actually for any new producers listening?
Zenweld on YouTube. Just watch everything he's ever done because it's free and great advice.
That is good advice.
And he also gets back to you as well, which is because if you email him, he always replies. He's just great.
That's dope. I think we're linking up to do some like high definition stuff, so that'll be.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure you'll be involved with that as well. So yeah, watch this space.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let us know what you've got in the pipeline. What's next from you?
So I've actually gone back to the drawing board and I've started getting some producer lessons in Manchester, like a couple. It's very expensive, but it's annoying because I wanted to try them out. Thought to be fair, I've just said go to Zenweld, he's great, but at the same time, there's something about speaking to someone in person, and like, you know, you can only learn so much on YouTube, and I think like I take too long making tunes. It's just ridiculous. So I've kind of like gone back to learn. So I'm spending a couple of months with him, and then I'm hoping, like, because actually got quite a few collabs in the pipeline with a few people from New York, like the Deep lads. They kind of like always put people together. So there's a few of them, hopefully a few collaborations going. And then there's a tune it's by me, obviously. It's a tune, a tune called Heiter, which is coming out on Crank, which is, you know, Night Lapse.
Sick.
Their label, and they played it in Belsonic before MK came on, and they went off. I was like, wow.
You've got video for that?
I have, yeah. I'll send you it. It's so good. It's so good.
Positive. When's that dropping?
I don't know. I gave it mid-June, and I was like, I've messaged them like 2 or 3 times, like, all right, lads, any sense on a release date? And they're like, soon.
That's the reality of having tracks signed. Like, everything takes time. Like, people don't realise that sometimes, like, we sat on something for ages, but, you know, like, it's not the right time, or like you think, oh, this is a summer track, but like, you know, you got to wait like a whole up until the next summer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think they're probably going to release it like sometime next year, because it's like a piano-y tune, but it's like, it's probably got the best reaction of a lot of my tunes. So there's a guy called Mentis who's had some tunes in the charts, and he's been playing. He played on the Miniature Sound YouTube mix, and I was like,
send it to me.
That's insane. I will do. It's not even finished. That's the thing. I sent it to them, and I was like, there's a tiny. Ironically, the interlude is just not as good as I would like it to be. So I want to kind of make a few adjustments to it. But yeah, it is a good tune. It was probably one of my least favorites, but my mate was like, that is such a good tune. I was like, is it really? He's like, yeah. And I listened to it and I play it, I'm like, it's quite good. Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right, that one.
you must have that as well, though, when you make a song and you think it's poo, and then, you know, you play it and someone...
Or the opposite, you're like, this is hitting really hard, I love it, and then you bounce it out, play it out, and you're like, nah, it's really flat.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah, that happens all the time. It's nice when it happens the other way around every now and then. It's good.
I love it. Well, keep us updated on that one, because... want to see dates, want to support that one. But yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for this chat. Yeah, thanks everybody for locking in as well. Rock the House is out now on all platforms. Don't forget Life's Better in HD. Go and show it some love. Boom, let's go.